In the heart of Nigeria's capital, where morning light glides across polished highways and the hum of ambition fills the air, Abuja awakens, poised for history. Here on this radiant morning, visionaries of movement, masters of mobility and custodians of progress gather beneath one banner. The Chartered Institute of Transport Administration of Nigeria, Ciota. The air shimmers with purpose, cameras click, handshakes echo, and conversations spark like flint. It is the 7th National Transport Conference at the Nikon Luxury Hotel, a summit of minds devoted to a singular pursuit: repositioning Nigeria's transport infrastructure and governance models for global competitiveness. The hall hums with intellect and expectation. Industry titans, policy architects, and innovators converge, united by the belief that transport is not just movement, but destiny itself.
It is with immense pleasure and gratitude to God that I welcome you all to the landmark occasion, the 7th National Conference of the Chartered Institute of Transport Administration of Nigeria, Ciota. The theme of this year's conference, repositioning Nigeria transport infrastructure and governance model for global competitiveness, is both strategic and urgent. It will compel us to look beyond the challenges of our today and focus on building an integrated, efficient, sustainable, safe transport network that can anchor Nigeria's competitiveness in global trade and development.
The opening session was a garland of tribute for the practitioners and the sector. Buoyed by the arrival of the conference's chairman, His Excellency Senator Uba Sani, the Executive Governor of Kaduna State. He is a man whose leadership has turned roads into rivers of opportunity and transits into triumph. Governor Uba Sani speaks not just as a chairman, but as a reformer, unveiling a legacy in motion. 85 new roads spanning 785 kilometers, the North's first bus rapid transit system, a corridor of convenience and dignity, a light rail project gliding towards reality, and a citizen relief program saving commuters over £500 million. Each milestone a brushstroke in a grand mural of renewal. Each word a promise that mobility shall no longer be a privilege, but a right of progress.
It is a great honor to be here at the National Transport Institute to exchange ideas and experience as we chart the course of a transport revolution in our beloved Kaduna. This conference comes at a moment filled with promise, when the arteries of our cities and the pathways of our people call not for small adjustments, but for bold and visionary renewal. Transportation remains the lifeblood of every society. It connects people and places, drives economic growth, and shapes the rhythms of daily life. In Kaduna, as in many rapidly growing African states, the pressures of urbanization and population expansion have brought familiar challenges: congestions, delays, inadequate infrastructure, and the frustration of limited mobility. When my administration assumed office about 2.5 years ago, we placed the overhaul of Kaduna's transport ecosystem at the center of our urban renewal agenda. These are not abstract promises, but finance projects, under construction initiatives, and in many cases, services already being delivered to our citizens.
Back in Kaduna, the governor's vision buried in steel and asphalt. This is not rhetoric, it is renewal in motion. Each revelation builds a mosaic of motion, air, road, rail, and sea, converging toward one destiny. Little wonder, in a moment woven with grace and pride, the Institute confers its highest honor, the honorary fellowship of Ciota, upon Governor Uba Sani. The applause is not mere ceremony, it is a standing ovation for vision, courage, and the relentless pursuit of modern transport excellence. In that gesture, the spirit of transformation takes form, the bridge between policy and purpose. Then steps forward the custodian of the nation's mobility vision, Senator Said Alkali, Minister of Transportation. With calm authority, he announces a milestone, Nigeria's first ever national land transport policy, freshly approved and ready to harmonize the nation's motion.
Let me begin by expressing my profound appreciation to His Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, whose visionary leadership continues to provide the enabling environment for sustainable growth in the transport and logistics ecosystem. Under his administration, critical reforms and investment have accelerated across all transport modes, and the Federal Executive Council has approved the National Land Transport Policy, a milestone framework that will harmonize standard, improve coordination, and foster private sector participation. Distinguished participants, allowed me to highlight some key achievements and ongoing initiatives that underscore our collective commitment. The Lagos-Kano Standard Gauge project has achieved milestone. The Lagos-Ibadan-Abuja-Kaduna segment are fully operational, while Kaduna-Kano is nearing completion. Construction of Kano-Maradi with a branch line to Dutse in Jigawa State continues steadily, reinforcing Nigerian connectivity with the Republic of Niger. Work on the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri Eastern Narrow Gauge with its branch lines and 2 transshipment terminals is progressing. Operating of the Eastern Corridor for Commerce and Inclusion. The deployment of Public-Private Partnership PPP driving e-ticketing platform on Lagos, Ibadan, Abuja, Kaduna, and Warri-Itape lines has greatly improved transparency, accountability, and user experience.
He speaks of railways reborn, Lagos to Kano, Ibadan to Kaduna, arteries binding the Federation's heartbeat. He calls for smart mobility, blockchain accountability, and digital transparency. He commands a new era where innovation drives the wheel of governance. And as he speaks, one feels it, the stirring of destiny, the whisper of a nation, awaking to its transport future. Also corresponding goodwill messages from the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy and from the Minister of Livestock Development, Alhaji Idi Mukhtar Maiha, also emphasized the dynamic contribution of the transportation sector to the economy.
I title my short remark, The Unseen Engine, Transportation's Role in Transforming Livestock Sector. We stand at a critical juncture where the national, regional, and global demand for high-quality, safe, and ethically sourced livestock products is soaring. The transformation of the livestock sector under the Renewed Hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, from farm to fork, from grass to a glass of milk, is not driven solely by genetics or animal feed science. but by a less visible yet utterly very, very important component: the efficiency of its transportation system. This remark will illuminate how a modern, efficient transportation network acts as the unseen engine driving progress across red meat abattoir operations, the cold chain dairy processing, humane animal handling, and the crucial market linkages that connect every stakeholder from Gomburungala to Ibadan, from Sokoto to Uyo, and every producer and consumer in between by rail, sea, land, and air.
Transport is far more than roads, rails, ports, or airports transport. It is the lifeblood of our economy. Yet, despite Nigeria's immense potential, our transport system are times falling short. Congestion, bottlenecks, inefficiencies, delays, challenges that cost our economy billions, that limit growth, and that restrict the dreams of millions of Nigerians. But today is not a moment to dwell on the past. Today is a moment to envision the possibilities. Imagine a Nigeria where every road is reliable, every railway is functioning, every port efficient, and every waterway is safe. Imagine a country where good roads move swiftly from farm to the market, from factory to port rather, from city to city without delay or unnecessary cost. That is the Nigeria we must build. That is the Nigeria this conference seeks to shape.
The opening session also featured goodwill messages from the president of Chartered Institute of Transport and Logistics, CLIT, Dr. Oyeyemi Boboye.
Only Lagos has a model you can call the multimodal transportation system, even though it's not fully, but Lagos is a good example in Nigeria because we're already carrying out a study of the 36 states and FCT to know how many states can be said to have integrated multimodal transportation system. Only Lagos stands out. Most states have what we call intermodal. Intermodal is just linking of two. But when you are talking about multimodal, we have the 4 modes of transportation in Nigeria, plus the pipelines, making 5. We are talking about looking at the issue of rail, aviation, maritime, road, and pipelines. Only Lagos could be said to have a good case study. The only thing is that Lagos is not linked to the airport. If Lagos has been linked to the airport, we could have said Lagos has the full multimodal system. But with what Lagos has, it can still be connected. But one concern which I'm just sharing in the transportation industry is with the MD of NRC this morning, the derailment of our trains, one. Also, the inland waterways have witnessed a lot of boats capsizing. Many lives have been lost. These are areas which we need to really address. And we are looking at the multimodal transportation system. The issue of safety comes on board, especially for the rail system, and they must commend the efforts of the current MD towards improving the tracks and the efficiency of the rail system is highly commendable. But for the inland waterways, we need to do more. And from the reports we have been reading, it has to do with overloading and traveling at night. And these are the issues that the transport administrators, logistics and transport needs to be addressed in one way or the other. And the ultimate of all this is to improve on our multimodal transportation system in the country. So conferences must address this, and the government must be seen to be doing something in respect of this.
Representatives of the Inspector General of Police, Corps Marshal of the FRSC, and other dignitaries from the transportation sector.
In the security cycle, One of the major ingredients of a successful operation of the Nigerian police force is for both security personnel and criminal elements is transportation. Hence, the role of transportation in security of the nation cannot be overemphasized. As the first transport officer of the Nigerian police force, and as a graduate of the automotive engineering, and as a enlisted cadet officer of the transport section by profession, I am glad to be part of this conference, especially to learn the new trends in transport infrastructure, developments, and modernization in order to translate that into our operational order when fighting the never-ending crimes and criminality in the nation. As the core mandate of the Nigerian police force is to save lives and protect properties, we rest assured of the Inspector General of Police support in everything that will directly or indirectly stop crimes and reduce criminality across the country.
Then, the voice of stewardship fills the room, steady, eloquent, but sure. Prince Dr. Segun Obayendo, a man of quiet resolve and profound conviction, rises not merely as a president, but as a torchbearer of legacy. He took the mantle from his illustrious predecessor, Dr. Bashir Jamo, whose strategic leadership laid the bedrock upon which Ciota now stands tall. And where that vision ended, Obayendo began a renaissance, refining, expanding, reimagining.
Welcome to what I believe will be our most impactful national transport conference yet of our great institute, Ciota. As I stand before you today, I'm proud to report that the narrative has changed dramatically. In 2023, we confronted emerging national challenges and prospects in transportation mode. We didn't just talk, we acted. We grew our membership by over 100%. And most importantly, we found our voice as authoritative voice of transport in Nigeria. In 2024, we tackled sustainable transportation in a disruptive era. And again, we delivered. We didn't just adapt to disruption, we led it through our advocacy. Nigeria finally adopted the transport cadre, and a milestone that took decades to achieve. We have to also appreciate the profound impact of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his Renew Hope agenda. He came in and immediately created 3 ministries out of transportation. For some of us that are conversant with the journey of having national transport policy, you will agree with me that the coming of His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu made the entire task very easy. In less than 2 years, the marine and blue economy have put together their own development plan and policy, and follow closely by the National Land Transport Policy. The theme we have chosen is both timely and urgent: repositioning Nigeria's transport infrastructure and governance model for global competitiveness. Global competitiveness in transport means seamless multi-modal integration. It means a passenger that can travel from Kano to Lagos by rail, connect to international flights with their cargo moving simultaneously through efficient logistic chains. It means governance models that prioritize efficiency over bureaucracy, innovation over tradition. So to our distinguished guests from government, I say this: partner with us, not just as consultants, but as co-architects of Nigeria transport future. To my fellow Ciota members, our post-conference decision must hinge on implementation, not just deliberation. Every recommendation from this conference must find its way into policy paper, project designs, and practical solutions to our international participants. Nigeria is ready to learn, ready to collaborate, and ready to compete on the global scale. Ladies and gentlemen, transport is not about moving people and goods. It's about moving a nation forward. It's about ensuring that a farmer in Kebbi can get his produce to Lagos as efficiently as a farmer in Iowa get his to Chicago. It's about ensuring that our young graduates can access opportunities regardless of their geographical location. This is our moment. This is our conference. This is our opportunity to reposition Nigeria transport sector for the global competitiveness our nation deserves.
Under his stewardship, Ciota has grown in leaps and bounds. What was once a modest professional body has become a national institution, visible, vocal, and vital. He has deepened partnerships with government and industry, cultivated global recognition, and infused new energy into the institute's ranks. Through him, Ciota has evolved from advocacy to action, from the drawing board to the driver's seat of Nigeria's mobility transformation. He has made the institute a lighthouse for practitioners, a conscience for policymakers, and a bridge between aspiration and implementation. And as he speaks, his words reach beyond walls to the very soul of a nation seeking motion with meaning. He recalls decades of advocacy, the triumphs of the transport cadre, the birth of the National Land Transport Policy. But a stone carries more than memory. It carries momentum, a reminder that leadership is not inherited. It is lived, earned, and renewed in service. His words echo beyond the hall, a summons to architects of change, a reminder that progress is both an inheritance and an obligation. Ciota is on the threshold of history. At the conference, a new chapter is signed into history, a memorandum of understanding between Ciota and the Chartered Institute of Directors. In this partnership, thousands of companies will find new alignments with professional standards. It is not merely an agreement, it is a symphony of synergy, a handshake between governance and growth. Beyond the opening conference, the conference also featured stimulating conversations around issues in the transport and mobility sector.
Ciota has this radial arm now that can regulate and train people. By the time we consistently do this, the bail of this policy is set to correct those inefficiencies in transportation sector. You can call it land, you can call it marine, you can call it air. Intermodalism and consistent coordination is what we need.
When we engage in training and collaborate with other agencies, we'll be able to know the law governing the road, and that is when we'll be able to enforce those laws.
The group will try to bridge a transparent gap in the process of acquiring driver licenses in line with best practices. And what we do, we have successfully developed and deployed e-testing of drivers and call it computer-based theory test, and is in line with National Council on Transportation on 2017.
Dr. Kayode Okpeifa of the Nigerian Railway Corporation speaks of challenges and triumphs, announcing the imminent rebirth of the Lagos to Kano line and a dream of 60,000 kilometers of connected Nigeria.
Dangote is one of major, in fact, they called the GDFL FT corner. They want to push to the north. The Milk Producers Association in the north, based in Kano, also called to move their milk from Kano because the people who take milk are in Lagos, while the people who produce the milk are in the northwest. And also, Goa is also involved. Lafarge is moving cement now from the south to the north. The problem they are having is how sustainable will be the real freight. They don't want to carry something that you say there is a washout or there is a derailment and their goods are stopped, and that we already have. So we are working to meet their standard.
From aviation, the message is clear. The skies too are part of this renaissance, contributing over $1.7 billion to GDP.
As African foremost aviation training institution, our mission is to build capacity, strengthen safety standards, and promote innovation that ensures Nigeria's aviation sector remains globally competitive. We believe that sustainable transport development, whether on land, sea, or air, depends on skilled manpower, modern infrastructure, and effective governance. INCAD is committed to producing the next generation of professionals who will not only sustain but also transform Nigerian transport and aviation landscape.
The FRSC unveils a digital revolution. 15,000 licenses daily, swift and secure. And NIMASA, Guardian of the Seas, reports maritime security strengthened by innovation and courage. Then, the crescendo, a ceremony of belonging. 230 new members rise to take their place in history. 23 transportants, 75 associates, 85 members, and 50 fellows. Each handshake seals a vow. Each smile reflects pride in nation, in profession, in purpose. In this moment, Ciota's heartbeat expands, its network strengthened, its influence renewed. As the final season fades into the golden glow of Abuja's evening, one truth endures. Transport is not merely about movement. It is about meaning. It is the rhythm of commerce, the pulse of innovation, the bridge between dreams and destinations. The 7th National Transport Conference, Ciota, may draw its curtains, but the story it has written continues on every road built, every rail laid, every policy enacted. From the grandeur of the conference halls to the hum of the highways, Ciota's vision endures to reposition Nigeria, not just for today's journey, but for tomorrow's global triumph. For in every wheel that turns, in every bridge that rises, Nigeria moves and the world takes notice.